I'm just turning the microphones on. That's it.
Oh,
now,
okay.
now we
All
can
right.
say evening. Evening,
All right.
everyone.
Hello, Matt.
Hello,
How's
Sam.
it going?
I'm going
What
well.
we're doing this evening, people are looking forward to what we're doing. So I'm just going to adjust my camera ever so slightly. There we go. How are we today, and what are we doing?
We are looking at the 313 that has been much anticipated for
It
a
doesn't
very
exist,
long time.
Matt. It's we just made that up to make the 313 fans, just to quieten them down. We haven't. We surely haven't actually made it.
Well, here we go
Well,
into the...
that's killed the banter section of the show, you stone dead then. All right, okay. Well, let's crack on. What are we looking at today?
Yeah, so we're looking at the 313. It's on the East Coastway add-on. There are services on London Brighton. I'm not going to run those today, but we will show you what there is on London Brighton before we finish up. 3 scenarios here. So Double Trouble, Far Reaches, and It's Coming Home. And then in the timetable, what's been done here is recently the East Coastway timetable was updated. Adam's Preserve crew did a lot of work updating the East Coastway timetable. What this does is it duplicates the updated timetable and swaps out all of the things which should be a 313 and makes them a 313. So the full timetable, if you like, is the new one, because that'll give you the 313 as well. The original timetable won't have any 313s in it.
Gotcha.
And the reason for that is...
But everything runs to time then, so the performance is such that that you won't have any timing issues.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any problem there, but it's a custom timetable that's been set up for the 313 doing those jobs. But we couldn't use substitution or anything because of 4-car versus 3-car units and there's performance differences. So it's just easier to set it up as a separate timetable, and that way you'll see 313s a lot more. You'll see them in the right places. So it is a better way of doing it. And here is the 313.
So when we say new, so for those who didn't pick up on all of that, it's not a new timetable. It's the old timetable, but with the 313 inserted where it should be.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay.
Does the new timetable have 387 AAO trains in Brighton? No, it doesn't use it. It only adds the 313. Right.
Okay.
Let's go. I still have Brighton to Seaford run, 2 Charlie 22. So just quick flick up and down. Services. Quite a bit to pick from.
A reasonable shake to play with.
Where's the one I was doing?
Is there a BR Blue variant included?
No. It's just the green one.
Okay.
Would have liked to have done the BR
my
Blue,
life,
but...
ASL Zach. No, my life as Isaac. Even we'll turn the cameras off in a moment. We usually wait until the train's present. We like to show people that there's people, you see, that aren't just here, and then we'll turn the cameras off round about now. See, any time now, Matt will disable the camera. Any time. There we go. I don't believe we've got double audio, Dominus Edwardius. Check to make sure you haven't got 2 windows open or something, I guess.
What are other people saying? Are you getting...
No, the audio sounds strange, apparently.
Okay. I had problems with audio before I got to this point, so funnily enough, it doesn't actually surprise me, but I think I might have a fix. Hang on.
You've broken it. It sounds like you're in the bath, apparently. Okay, in which case it's not you, it's
found
us.
me out.
Well, it's not us, it's Matt.
Right.
Because you know that we're going with the audio police are out in force, and that they're going to cast their silky judgment over whatever it is that we're about to show off.
Is that better, folks? That's
a
what I'm
quick
looking
test
for.
on audio. I think it's the game audio as much as anything. That's the bit that matters.
Yes, that's what I mean. It sounds fine to me. I want to know what the stream is doing. No, still there. Really? Okay. What about now? They won't hear you at the minute, though. No, but now they can't hear you. Let me see if I can find out why is it when I put the desktop audio on, it's doubling the console?
Oh, of course. Can they hear me yet? Because
they can hear you now. I've turned off the console.
All right. Okay. So the reason that it's slightly more complex than usual is that we are running on PS5 this evening. Oh, showing off the XMB there just to show it off.
Why is it being stupid?
Yeah, it's back. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam's back, but you can you hear the? No, you can't hear the game. No, you can't hear the game because I've turned that off. Because the problem is, if I turn the game on, it comes out of both places. Like now, I can see it coming out of desktop as well as microphone. Right. What is wrong with this thing? Every time I go anywhere near it, it's changed. Be with you in a minute, folks. Obviously, what you wanted was a stream where we change audio, and you didn't want to see the 313 at all.
I think they did.
I don't think they did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Anyway, yeah, no, it's going to be good. It's going to be top notch. They're all saying this is classic DTG audio going on.
This is classic Matt audio going on.
Yeah, which is not exactly the same. It's not exactly the same thing.
It'll be good when I finally got all my stuff back in the office, because then this will remain set up one way all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see why it's coming out twice now. Hang on. Let me turn that off, because it sucks.
What? Simply Sims is saying that you're not allowed to have to comment or have an opinion. That seems like quite a harsh rule. That's not one we've introduced before. Did I have a good holiday? I did have a good holiday. I went cruising on a boat. Matt's going to figure out the audio. Meanwhile, I'll just. Yeah, if I'm muted, the sound works perfectly. If I'm muted, I could go and do something else. But no, I'm here to help answer the questions, or at least serve them up.
Right. Do we have audio from the game in single form? And can you hear Sam? And me?
Hello. Am I present? Hello there. It's good, and you can hear me apparently.
Right, we got there.
Right.
All I did was set it up the way that it wouldn't work before the stream. Great.
Excellent. No game audio, apparently.
Hey?
Well, one person's saying no game audio. Wait for it. Wait for it.
All our trains and stations on the
It's good, but I can still hear Matt.
Sorry about
Quality. Oh, we have game audio. Okay. No, everything's good. We have game audio. Everything's fine. Let's get on with it.
Oh dear. Why are the tail
Sorry
lights
about
on? Because the train boots up with tail lights on both ends. It's up to you as the driver to do your thing. So I am going to put the lights on. With this
Is that
control.
prototypical?
Yes, because the train, if it's not going anywhere, should be set with red lights on both facing ends. Because if a train was to come in, okay, it doesn't matter because one end at the moment is facing buffers, so you're not going to have any problem there. But
Sure.
a train could pull into this side, and they want to have a train with both reds. So the train boots up with reds. You set the one you want to be using as whites, and that way you don't have to go and set the other end. Now we could make it to where the train does it all for you, but then
Where's the fun in that?
well, you could just watch a video.
Yeah.
So we've got the lights on. I'm going to put the master key in.
Do you want to restart the service? Just purely because we're 6 minutes behind schedule, and being a little bit closer to being timely is probably a good idea, and this won't break anything.
Yep.
Theoretically, it won't break anything. Give it time.
Okay, let's put the master key in, and let's pop it back into neutral, and we will operate that to the marker lights. I think that's all I need to worry about on here. Let's get the doors open, which is this one over here. We'll get the windows open a bit. And behind us, we will find AWS. Shut up. Thank you. And let's see what other switches there are in here. There's compressor governor, the GSMR. Okay, it switches on now. All right, it doesn't.
Got
do
a lot of
anything
people
on
saying that there's no sound coming from the cab,
that. No cab sounds.
and then someone else saying that that was loud.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure what to do with that.
Are you hearing cab sounds?
Yeah, it's coming through fine for me.
Because I only get your microphone. All right. Well, look. Let's carry on and see what's what.
No, it's fine. Okay, good.
Okay.
They're messing about. Right, fine.
Oh, good. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, if I mean, it's up to you. We could sit here all evening and just sit here and Matt can fiddle with audio cables, or we can actually show you the train in action. Your choice.
So, Aux Lighting Fuse is control positive. I actually have no idea what that means. I guess that turns the controls on. Door control for the doors. This one is a dynamic brake control. So, Southern actually operate with the dynamic brake turned off, if I remember rightly. So, I'm going to turn that off. But it is there if you want to use it as well. AWS main circuit breaker, electro-pneumatic brake control, so you can turn off the EP brakes. Normally you wouldn't mess with any of this stuff. It's like, other than turning AWS on. Auxiliary set, let's get that turned on. That'll get passenger lights on. Auxiliary trip, lighting sets. Okay, and let's do the. No, I don't need. Do we need the cab heater? Let's put it on low. It's a little bit cool. Right, and then let's put the guards key in. Someone said show the guards panel. Let's have a look at the guards panel. There's one round here as well. This basically works the same as the one on the 314 did. Welcome to the 313.
Okay.
So, just a quick tour around the train. Well, actually, no, we've got to go.
Yeah, we're already late. We
I'm
restarted this in a bid to not be quite as late.
Okay.
We'll have plenty of opportunities to fiddle around with more bits and pieces.
Pop it forward, release the brakes. I love the photos on the exterior here. They're a bit different to what you normally see on trains.
Yeah, absolutely. Are these is this the same sound set as we used on the 314?
It's a variation of the sound set from the 314, so it's got some changes that are unique to the 313, but there are some elements of it that come from that are the same as the 314. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, stopping here at London Road. 313 does the services to stop every blade of grass normally. I've got the window open, that's why you're... Oh, okay, I don't know why that's... Oh, got an achievement. Winning the day.
That's called a trophy.
Sorry, trophy.
Trophy. Make sure you We're not platform agnostic. We're platform specific every opportunity we get. Does the PIS on the front, does it scroll?
I've not actually seen it with an end, with a destination which is longer than that, so I haven't actually seen that.
Okay. So we're going to file that one under don't know.
Yep.
And is there cabin PIS going on as well? I don't know the model well enough. I've never been on one of these.
I can't remember. Let's have a look. Yeah.
Destination only.
Yeah, just destination.
We'd like to get a shot of the doors closing, please, when the opportunity presents itself.
There you go.
Oh, and for bonus points, an exterior departure. A bit of 8 would be lovely. Of course, you're on.
Do that at the next one.
You don't have an 8. Do you have control over the PIS, or
No.
is it auto set?
It's auto set. You don't have it. It's done using this thing, if I remember rightly, in reality. But no, we haven't got that in there. Oh, the occlusion problem. So yes, you're not hearing occlusion on this. That is fixed in the next version. It's just not in this build I've got in today. That was fixed by Adam today. So that's why. Because that's what's confusing me. Because the version I was testing today was working fine. So
have you got the opportunity to stick an FPS counter on?
at the next station, I will go and find a keyboard. Yes.
I mean, realistically though, this is going to have the same performance as East Coastway because it is just running on East Coastway.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a you're not going to see anything you haven't seen before. Let's put it that way.
It's like an almost perfect stop with variable versions of the meaning of the word almost.
So is this a camshaft driven train?
Yes, it's quite different physics to the ones that have gone before.
And looking at the roof, it doesn't have any kind of pantograph going on up there.
No, you've got a big hole where the pantograph was.
Right.
Or would be, or could be.
Will the 377 still have the old sets of sounds when this comes out? Yes, because this is the 313. So it's not going to change the sound of anything else.
Yeah, we've not made any backport of the new 377 into this yet. That'll be a separate preserved core update.
Yeah. Is the GSMR working or is it static?
It doesn't do anything. It just switches on.
And does it come for the scenario planner?
Yes, you can use it with the scenario planner.
Okay. Now, I mean, the reason that we're showing this on East Coastway is you must have East Coastway in order to use this this train. So if you haven't got East Coastway yet, I mean, obviously, if this is the kind of train that appeals to you, chances are East Coastway is already in your collection. But you must have East Coastway in order for the 313 to work for you.
So the SG button will contact the signaller, and the SIG button will contact the signaller. So they both will do basically the equivalent of contact dispatcher. So that doesn't, to my mind, make it a working GSMR. But we thought that was easy to do, so we added those buttons in there so you can use those. Coming up to Fulmer.
got a few people saying that the sound apparently cuts out when you get to around 50. Now, I can't hear that, so I can't verify.
I hadn't noticed, but I will listen next time we speed up.
Okay.
Guard spell's not doing anything. That might be one of the things that was fixed today, actually. Because of the cab occlusion has meant that a number of these internal switches aren't working properly, and that time there was a core issue that needs to be resolved to solve that. So,
well, if you've if this is out next week, which it is, are we going to get the opportunity to see it in preview again before it comes out? Because it's all well and good saying, there's another build, but it's that we need to be able to show that off. Otherwise, people are going to pick it up expecting it to be radically different, and it's going to be radically similar.
Yeah, I'm not in charge of the Ralph Ad TV schedule, but we'll be making. I'll be making final builds tonight.
That's partly my job. Hold on.
Put a preview in when you want one, Sam.
Yeah. Hold on. No. I don't get to. I'm just a performing video monkey. I don't get to decide what's on and when. Hold on. Let's have a look. Next week. Oh, I'm on doing Tees Valley on Tuesday. That's nice. And then we're on. You're on again next Thursday, doing more of the same. So it's a launch day.
Yeah, I know we're doing the launch day stream. Yeah.
We're not talking about West Cornwall this evening, but because it's a hot topic at the moment, we're not ignoring it. This is a 313 stream, and people have been waiting for this a long time. As soon as there's more news on West Cornwall, we'll deliver the news to you. But it's got a few extra bits and pieces that need doing to it before we're ready to launch it. There are videos available for you on YouTube. If you go looking for them, you'll see where the inconsistencies are. But a bit more work is being done before it's properly released.
Oh, I hear it now. I'll raise that with Adam. Find out what's going on there.
So the sound does actually cut out.
Yeah, it's sudden as well.
Okay, well that's plain weird. And would you please enable the gauge lights? Actually, they look like they're on. There you go. Oh yeah, see, no, gauge lights are on. Okay.
Three miles now to Lewis. Why doesn't brake come on the HUD? So the number you're seeing where the throttle goes here, which shows 1, 2, 3 at the moment, that's a power controller indicator. So if you've got a dynamic brake indicator like a dynamic brake or a blended brake or something, then you'll usually see something there. If all you've got is air brakes though, like this one, then you just see the 33% thing at the bottom there, or 67%, like I've got there. You know, that's your brake indicator. Just air brakes doesn't show up in that number indicator there. Right, what I'll do is when we get to Lewis, I'll flick on the
frame rate counter.
Dynamic brake and put the frame rate counter.
Thank you. Okay, right, good. A couple of people have sent the stream's lagging. I'm checking that now by watching the stream while being on the stream, while watching the stream being streamed, and I'll verify. It seems to be fine though. Right, good. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, smashing. So, which services does this actively run on then on East Coastway? Because looking at the timetable earlier on, it didn't look like there was a massive amount of variety in services that this runs.
No, this basically fundamentally runs Brighton to Lewis and Brighton to Singford. It's pretty much its entire purpose in life. So that's what it's been set to do on the timetable.
Right.
I mean, there are a lot of those services, but that is what it does.
Okay.
One of the interesting things about it being a camshaft train is it's sort of closer driving experience to the 72 stock on the Bakerloo line in terms of the way the throttle works. One of the key things of that is if you put it into, say, notch 3 and then put it down to notch 1, it will stay in notch 3. You have to put it all the way to 0 to come off the power. So if you want less power, you've got to reset it and reapply it.
Is that so? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as the 72 stock, and is common as one of the. I believe it's a common thing with all camshaft controls. So yeah, this has had an entirely new semi-graph written for it because of that.
We'll take a look at the Brighton Mainline services after we've done with this initial demo. But we're showing it off on East Coastway purely because it won't work unless you have East Coastway. So we don't want to make people think that it will work on Brighton Mainline just standalone. That's something we're looking to address in the future, but we don't have any timing for that at the moment.
Someone's saying, how do I do the horn without looking at it? I'm using PS5 controller. Press the left stick and you get the high horn. Press the operations shift, which is square, hold it, and then press the left stick, and you get the other one. So
Brighton Mainline, yes, is London Commuter.
It does work on Brighton Mainline, yes, Matthew L. But you need to own this to make the DLC work. All of our loco packs are a loco pack for a route, so you need to own that, and then that activates it, if you like, because it's set for that. This is a thing that we want to improve in the future.
Can we do a bit of guard buzzer action when the opportunity presents itself? And
I
also
tried that and it didn't work because of the cab occlusion thing. So.
Okay. Go find your keyboard, plug it in, so we can have some friends.
Yeah.
There you go. Matt's left now.
What have I done?
No, you haven't. I was just making conversation with the viewers here, while you're off fishing around in that shabby garage of yours. Oh, come on, it is shabby, and you know it. This is why you always work with a green screen turned on.
It's a garage.
Somewhere buried back there's the Lost Ark of the Covenant.
There's at least 3 of those. There you go, frame rate counter's up.
There we go. So we're getting a solid 60 for all intents and purposes.
Yep.
Does it run any 6-car services?
Don't think so.
And does the little fan work?
No, it doesn't. It's been pointed in the wrong direction. We're not going to change it, but I am going to discuss this with the team and find out what the creative process was here.
You know what else? You know what else? Challenge the art team. Someone mentioned this earlier on, but we desperately need some telephone cable physics going on.
Yeah, we tried that with wiper cables.
You know what? I actually agree, because if you were to get a little bit of just sway of those cables, it would really sell the movement of the cab. I mean, I'd hate to think exactly how much impact that would have on performance, but even so, I would, it's the kind of thing, because we're all about trying to sell immersion, right? And therefore, the more things you can do to help kind of sell the player that they're actually in that environment, the better.
Yeah. Our experience with doing dynamic cables in the heavy haul trains was to not do it because it causes so many problems and looks absolutely daft when it goes wrong. So it would be cool. The horn wires on the F7, see, now that I definitely think should have been done because they're right there in your face. So that's definitely one that I want to see done at some point.
Yeah.
So you see I'm on power 3, watch my acceleration rate. If I drop it to power 1, you'll notice nothing has changed.
You're still getting the same power.
Amount of power, and if I cut it to 0, it all disappears. So if I now only want to go to power level 1, which really isn't going to do me much good at this point, but if you want to change your power, you've got to reset to 0. It's exactly the same as the 72 stock.
Is there a reason why Lewis is at 10 miles an hour? Well, that's what it does in the world.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but that's exactly what it says on the diagrams. Because I remember when we did the route, I went over to the track and signal team and said, that can't be right. It's dumb. Don't slow me down like that. Fix that. And they showed me on the diagrams. There it is there, 10 miles an hour. So, okay, not going to argue with the diagrams.
So is the performance handling of this much different to the 314?
Yes, I mean, because of the way that it's got to internally notch up and notch down, whereas on the 314 you've got something much more dynamic. This one feels much more like you get a burst of power and then it runs out, and then another burst of power and it runs out, and so on. So, I'm speeding again. So it does feel quite different. It feels, like I said, it's had a completely different semi-graph built for it, for that. So.
And when was this in use in the real world?
I think they've only relatively recently come out of service.
When you say relatively recently, what, last 2 years, last 5 years?
Yeah, something like that. It's in the last sort of 2 or 3 years, I think.
And are we on time at the moment? No, not even close. But that's usually because we're doing the standard showing more off than adhering to the time. Apparently, it's still in service.
It says still in service. Oh, okay. For some reason I thought they'd already gone out.
Well, there you go then.
Oh, it's the 314 or 315 that left. Oh, I remember the 315s going. That was a while ago, I think.
Apparently the door times are wrong.
Okay.
That was an okay.
Well, no, I'll pass that feedback back to the audio team. I don't know though because I need to go and have a listen. So.
Right. Well, it's one of those trains that a lot of people are going to be on this on a regular basis, right? Because it's a commuting service, and therefore it is something you're going to hear all the time. So you'll know if it's off even slightly.
It's possible I may not have done that stop very well.
Matt, I'll be honest with you. Of all the stops you've done so far today, you haven't done any of them really well.
Oh, look at that.
Perfectly I read the chat, you drive the train. That's the aim.
Perfectly missed the platform.
You're near enough. Apparently, no, it doesn't look like there's anybody on the train. The East Coastway passenger upgrade, that's due around the same time as this releases, right?
Yes, it is. That was what Adam was saying today, actually.
Oh no, there are some passengers on there. I just saw them. They had heads and everything. So the rush hour passenger system will be introduced to this line, if not just before the 313 is released, then very shortly afterwards. That's our next update, fundamentally.
Yep. Oh, everyone, stop. My stop was fine. Look, see? Perfect.
John says that was a bad stop. And I think, John, you're being generous there. That was a miss. That wasn't
Thank you,
a bad
Moggy.
stop.
Thank you, Moggy.
That was miss. And he had to back up again. Doesn't count as a Nebworth. A Nebworth is where he completely forgets that he had to stop there in the first place.
Yeah. Nebworth is a spectacular miss. Oh, well, no.
Did you not set the reverser?
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Will the 313 be available for London Commuter? Yes, it will, and we'll show you the services that it is usable on after we've finished a bit of a play around with the train itself. Mm-hmm. We won't be showing it on Brighton Mainline today. We won't be showing it on London Commuter today, purely because we don't want to mislead people to think that it will just run on the London Commuter. You do need East Coastway in order to make use of this train.
Coming up on New Haven Town shortly after we will be diverting off.
How often will the 313 show up as AI? Presumably, if you're using the right timetable, then the AI will run 313s instead of the 377.
And for these services, so
yeah.
And there are quite a few of them, so you see them quite frequently. I quite enjoy driving this route, both via the Seaford branch and onto Eastbourne. I quite like the fact that it's got two different trains in it now as well, in addition to the freight. Make it a bit more interesting.
Is it possible to do high and low horn on the controller?
Yes.
How does that work?
So high button is just the left stick.
Yeah.
Which there's the horn there, and if you use the Operation Shift, which on PlayStation is square and on Xbox is X,
yeah.
You hold that down and press the left stick,
and you'll get the low horn. There you go.
Yeah, I'm doing this on the controller, so yeah, everything I'm doing here you can do on the controller. Oh, I'm still 0.8 of a mile away. Why am I slowing down?
Why does it have its own timetable instead of occasionally subbing into the existing one? I'm going to take a swing at that. Presumably because the existing one doesn't include the 313, and rather than do it as a replacement, it was actually more straightforward to do a duplicate of the timetable with the 313 implemented.
Yeah, so the main challenge is that, and yeah, that's exactly right. The specific challenge is that the 377 and the 313 can't sub for each other because they've got a different number of cars in the train, and that's what substitution specifically can't do. A substitution must be for a train of the same number of vehicles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it literally just takes a vehicle and changes it for a different vehicle. The minute you start removing or trying to add vehicles, and then things get complicated internally. So,
Okay, no. I understand that. For those who are not familiar with the terminology, when we say vehicles, it means any car, wagon, so powered loco, wagon, carriage, anything like that. Each one of those is considered one vehicle.
Yeah, so this is a 3-vehicle train I'm driving at the moment.
Right. We'd like to hear the wipers in motion.
Probably affected by the occlusion, so let me show you now. That's not doing anything. Where's the wipers? It's down here, I think. Yeah, you're not hearing anything. Better to demo that once we've got the occlusion problem fixed. The cab is in a bit of a odd state at the moment.
Okay.
Apparently the wipers don't stop.
I had a car like that once. And then about 20 minutes later, the wiper motor broke and it stopped working entirely. Stick that one onto Matt's traditional list of things.
Yeah.
This isn't the final version.
No.
But the final version is already done, right? Or are there still a little bit more to come? It wasn't a Ford, Monty. No, it was an Austin. Which possibly says
Dates it
quite a lot.
No, in terms of whether this is the final, whether the one that we did today is the final. The one we did today should be the final, but I'm going to check some of these things out that have come up and double check that they are fixed. Because not being able to turn off the wipers is special. Right,
what David says doesn't sound like it's ready at all. This isn't the final version, and the bits that you're seeing that aren't working, none of them are actually stopping it from operating. There are just a few odds and ends to clean up, but aren't there always a few odds and ends to clean up? But hopefully the number of odds and ends that are cleaned up before it releases will be sufficient that you shouldn't notice them.
Yeah, there was a lot of work done today. Which unfortunately wouldn't be in the build because builds are only done every night.
Do any of the services run to Eastbourne because they go into the sidings there a couple of times a day?
I'll have a look in the service list in a minute. I don't know.
I'm so glad we tested the wipers out. Charlie says make it under a tenner and he might get it. Well, Charlie, if you wait for it to be in the sale, it will be under a tenner. Matt says stop the wipers. Using the controller, can you stop the wipers?
No. There's got no controller interface for the
You've
wipers.
got a keyboard plugged in.
Oh, let me try. That's just going to operate this thing.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Mind the gap.
At this point, it doesn't seem to do anything. Nice.
Okay. All right. Okay. No, the wipers, they're a perpetual motion device, and therefore once enabled cannot be unabled. It's like Mickey Mouse is operating them, and therefore gets a little obsessed about just continually filling. It's a Sorcerer's Apprentice reference. Turn the train on and off again. Yeah. Apparently if you leave the wipers in park, it will stop. All evidence to the contrary. I mean, we don't want to say you're wrong or anything, but in this case, no. I think we've got a wire missing from the
there's something
controller.
not right there.
No train DLC ever goes under a tenner? No, surely not. If we do a 20% off a loco on its own, it drops below a tenner. Pentistro, I'll send it to you. You'll preview the new build. Nah, you're all right. Although we are hiring for QA at the moment, if you want to jump on board. How does the timetabling work in Brighton Mainline? Well, we'll show that off once we're finished with this initial run. That way you can see the services that you've got available. No, the GSMR is just there for show, although you can use it to contact the signaller.
Yeah, it's an easy thing. One of the things we've done a while back is made it to where we can do the contact dispatcher on various buttons and phones and things. So going forwards, our plan would be to make the SIG buttons and the SG buttons work.
We've got a request for Adam to add the new skies in as quickly as possible as well. But that's on the route rather than anything else. Obviously, there's no sky on the train. That would be foolish and somewhat extra dimensional.
Yes, absolutely. I know that one of the things I've been talking with Adam about the way Preserve Crew have been working, and one of the things they are looking at is going through the routes faster to get things like skies and so forth done more rapidly, so that we can get a lot of this stuff caught up on all the different routes. A wiper circuit breaker.
I would say it would be miraculous if we had that as a switch you were able to use. You know my policy on switches.
Well, yeah, there isn't one.
No.
Didn't remember seeing one. Don't remember ever seeing one on a train.
Try a bit of master key out action and see if it still runs afterwards, because it could be that you've now got it fueled by black magic or similar.
Well, the master key wouldn't turn the power off. I'm not sure what would turn the power off on the...
Pull the plug out. Take the distributor cap off. When we next stop, can we have a close look at the image on the side of the train? Actually, you can do it while we're in... no, you've only got half a mile to go. I'll let you stop first. Try derailing and see if that stops it. Yeah, that'd probably do the trick. It's good to see the universal turn it off and turn it on again, though, is the recommended course of action.
Yep. Always solution number one.
Is there another stream before release showing fixes before it goes on sale? But no, there isn't one scheduled, but there is one on the day of release.
Yeah.
So if you can bear to wait an extra couple of hours, you will be able to see it before you decide whether or not to pick it up.
This is Seaford.
You're braking a bit fast and loose today there, Tiger.
I know. Apparently Aux Trip. Let's try Aux Trip. What could go wrong, eh?
Well, quite. Right, let's have a look at the pictures on the side of the train. Unless, of course, the second it's finished loading passengers, it's just going to end it all for all of us. Scenic. I wasn't aware the Taj Mahal was on the East Coastway.
I recognise that. That's in Portsmouth. And their deck chairs on generic pier. That's it. It's the same pictures. Oh, hello. Nice.
And then let's go for a stroll through the carriage as well, just for those who didn't catch the start when you did just that. Will East Coastway be added to the Epic Games version of the game? Yes, it will. We're waiting on the date for that, actually, because they're all of the preserved collection that is available on other platforms is apparently ready to go on Epic. I just don't know what the date is at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's just this morning. Finishing up the process. It is all there. I was having a run of some of it this morning. So we're not far off it now, I don't think.
It's just got to be queued up for deployment.
Yeah. The QA thing finished today. These advert boxes will just remain empty.
You know, we should sell those, right? Right, because I'd advertise there. You make the price right, and I'll I'll buy some adverts to stick on trains. What are those yellow orbs sticking out the top? They're handles.
These?
No. On the seat backs.
Oh, these? Yeah, they're handles, so you can steady yourself as you walk down the train.
While you walk down the train while it's in motion, then you can you've got something to hold on to, so you don't have to use someone's head. Last time I checked, they weren't too keen on using the head. Flippy seat not functional.
No, we generally don't make this flippy seats interactive.
When we add passenger mode, as we surely will at some point, then we should totally get flippy seats working and toilets. Although this doesn't have a toilet, everybody's been telling me there's no bathroom on the 313. Are we planning to do another USA route? Yes, True Gamer. We've got 2 in production at the moment. You can check them out on the roadmap. Which, if you've not come across it before, go to trainsimworld.com. Click the button that says roadmap. I'm not being facetious. It always sounds like I'm being facetious. That is legitimately the directions one should follow.
Yes.
When's this coming out? It's out next week. Next Thursday.
I'll go back and have a look at the service mode on the other one in a minute. This is East Coastway. Sorry, this is the service mode for Brighton Mainline. So a lot of it you'll see is sort of a few minute services. The depot moves essentially.
Yeah.
Lovers Walk but you got Lovers Walk to Selhurst here at an hour. And then there's part 2 to that.
Lovers Walk TNR SMD to Selhurst TNR SMD, part 1. Now, for those of us not conversant in such things, what? What's that?
I can't remember what the TNR... MD is maintenance depot. So you're going from Lovers Walk Depot in Brighton to Selhurst
Just point
Depot.
of order, Matt. We've got... Okay, I mean, I get in that section now, you've got a limited number of characters to play with, right? And that's... Okay, I can live with that. But then in the descriptive side, immediately to the right there, we could do a slightly longer one for those of us who speak English. Rather than communicate through nothing but timetables and almanacs.
Yeah. Yes, no, there should be something more
Please
in the
make a note
descriptions.
of that.
I'll advise the
from
gameplay team to be
from the
free
desk
with words.
of the vaguely simple folk amongst us.
Yeah, well, I'll advise the gameplay team that there are additional characters they can use without additional charge.
Yeah.
But essentially, this is Brighton to East Croydon. Oh, sorry, Brighton to Selhurst, which is...
You have not used the word Brighton in there anywhere.
No, well, that's where it's going for. Lovers Walk Depot is just next to Brighton Station, and then Selhurst is a bit quite a way up the route, and so it's an hour's drive. Because what happens in reality is these trains, the 313s, they don't run passenger services on Brighton Mainline. What they do is that periodically they will go from they'll be taken up as an empty coaching stock run to the depot at Selhurst, where I think they get the wheels turned or the tyres checked, or it's maintenance essentially. So that and then they run back down again, and before they run onto the back onto the East Coastway again for this div. So there are various services. This is the return journey here. The part 4. This one is then from Selhurst back to Brighton.
Second point of order. We have 2 services there. One of them is 1 minute, and the other is 6 minutes, and they're parts 1 and 2. Now, could just be me, but why wouldn't we make that just one part and call it 7 minutes?
Usually because they're going in different directions, and you have to split those.
Trains go backwards and forwards.
Yeah, if you don't split those, then the train, that's where you end up with drivers in the wrong ends, lights going the wrong way, and destination blinds wrong. So,
and also, given the amount of time you get to set up the train at the start of it, that's going to be a tough goal, isn't it? Isn't that going to be a tough goal?
Joe, to be fair, is quite good at giving reasonably generous time.
I'm not knocking Joe. You know, Joe's attention to detail is fantastic.
Yeah.
But this is just I'm relatively simple, and therefore, you know, it wasn't me that spotted the 1 minute service. That was a member of our community who spotted that. But when I see a 1 minute service, I kind of go like, it takes me longer than that to start a flaming train.
Yes. Yeah. No.
I've taken more time than that trying to get the door open and get in the cab.
I think that 1 minute probably is not including the 2 minute setup time. So.
Yeah.
Because normally Joe adds a couple of minutes setup time to every service.
Class 314 fan says, "Can we get back to driving, please?"
So that was the services on the Brighton Main Line. Let's get back on to East Coastway again. And just a reminder of the services on here. So Brighton Seaford, Brighton Lewis, New Haven Marine to Brighton. Just trying to see if has there been any Eastbourne services? I don't think there has there?
I'm not seeing any so far.
Just looking at the map.
All right, okay. Well, for our next trip, let's do a Lewis to Brighton then, because then we'll have seen both directions.
Yep.
Are there no railfan tours on this timetable? Didn't look like it.
I haven't got the dependent DLC for that installed on this console.
Which have you got installed? You've got the Core 3 and East Coastway and Brighton.
And I've got some of the bits for Brighton, so like Southeastern and 465. But
so not a full collection running on
this.
No.
This is because
we're on
console.
PS5, and if there was a full collection running, never mind.
No, it's because it's a dev console, and I have to install manually every individual package I want to use.
Got it.
Which takes forever. Right, let's us get the lights on. Let's get the doors open now while we're waiting. The lights
Pro
are
tip:
on.
don't turn the windscreen wipers on.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. Just isn't. Actually, oh no, you should. But do it when we're on final approach. Let's see if it does it again.
Okay.
Bugs have to be repeatable.
They do. Let's get AWS on. Flip the dynamic off.
What is the GKS indicator light?
Guard's key switch. It's that. So if I turn that off,
neat.
Light goes out. If I turn that on, it's because normally you'd have, if you had a guard This is telling you that there is a guard. The guard on the train has put his key in somewhere in the, or their key in, sorry, somewhere in the train.
Which light goes out?
This one.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. I was looking at the wrong light. Okay,
The
fine.
guard's key switch indicator. So it just tells you that's it. Or because there's no guard, what it does is it means that this once the guard's key switch is in, this panel now works.
Paul Doug 96 says, will there be rail tours for those with the relevant packs? Though, yes, because this is the same timetable as East Coastway has.
Yep.
So the only difference will be that you'll see 313s in service as well.
What I'll do is for the previous stream, for the launch stream on Thursday, I'll make sure that whatever platform we use has got all the content, so you can see that. So you're not just taking our word for it.
T&R SMD, does this stand for Train and Rolling Stock Maintenance Depot?
That sounds good.
It's as good an answer as any. I mean, it could be Tom and Robbie's Swanky Man Diner.
Could be.
I'd go to Tom and Robbie's Swanky Man Diner. Does the second man's seat flip down? For those who wish to sit on something else occasionally.
Don't think that does, no.
Mike says traction, not train. That stands to reason as well.
Mm-hmm.
Will the 313 timetable still see some 377s? Yes.
On the journeys to 377s do, yes.
Yeah.
So we saw some 377 in the previous run.
It basically splits out the 313 services from the timetable overall, and the basic timetable just runs 377s, but this one substitutes the 313s in where the 377 usually sit. You know what I'm talking about. I don't need to finish that.
Brighton to
does it have
Seaford is
gauge
from.
lights? Yes, it does.
Yeah, they're on at the moment. They're on by default. What you can do is you can dim them.
Extra difficulty.
It is making a difference.
It isn't. No, it don't. No. Sorry, I'd call you out on it if it wasn't. You can't go. See, look there. It looks exactly the same. There you go. Nigel's offering to take me to Robbie's Diner. I'm in. Okay, let's go. Brighton's nice at this time of year. It's less crowded with people. Why not add a 3-car 377?
It's just not just a case of taking a coach out that then needs to be set up properly to make it work.
Yeah.
So, which wasn't in the scope of what we wanted to do here. This is a 313 pack.
So, in a hypothetical sense, I mean, we've talked about consist building in the past as a feature we'd like to add, particularly for those like myself who like to muck around with the scenario planner. When you get to consist editing, will it be possible to do different variants in terms of car length when you're using a multiple unit?
I don't know. That would depend on the multiple units. Sometimes the number of cars is actually important. Sometimes literally the physical structure and makeup of the train means that you can't change the number of cars. It'd probably be something we would, make available in the consist editor. We test it to see if it would work, or if it was a reason it wouldn't work, and if not, then it would be hidden from the consist editor. Other than perhaps letting you say, I want one of them, or two of them, or three of them. Is more of as a unit rather than individual vehicles. But that's something that, as and when we get to it, we'll have to.
Yeah, I know.
Test.
It's not something we're working on currently.
No,
but just curiosity on my part as to whether because we've spoken about the complexities of multi-car vehicles before. and how they are effectively built as a single unit. Effectively, so you've got a 6 car. It's built as a 6 car as much as a 3 car's built as a 3 car. I just wondered if it were possible to chop in and out.
Yeah, some will, some won't.
And the answer is,
some will, some won't. Essentially.
Yeah. Ashley, we're going to look into why the sound's cutting out at 50. It's not supposed to do that. It just does that at the moment, and we're gonna double check it. Will the rush hour passengers get added? Yes, John. They're actually queued up for East Coastway already. It will be probably the next release in terms of a patch. Is this still being released on the 28th? Yes, it is. This is not the latest and greatest build. We don't know. We don't have a list of what's been fixed and updated for the later build. It's not going to be significantly different, but hopefully a couple of the annoyances have been resolved.
Yeah, I know the cab occlusion one's been fixed, as I was using that today, but I need to check this wipers thing.
Wasn't that in the latest release on Wednesday? It might have been. Nat said she was going. No, she's not on the bat phone. Nat occasionally joins us on the bat phone just for the sake of being there to point and laugh when things go wrong. Hold on, I'll have a look. Just bear with me. I pushed the wrong button there.
Will there be AI West Coastway services on East Coastway and on the Commuter? Well, yeah, same as the normal timetable rules. If you're not driving it, AI drive it. And there are tons of additional services that 313 runs that are not drivable on the London Commuter as well. So you'll see quite a lot of them around Brighton, for example.
Don't mind me, I just muted so that people didn't have to hear my clacky keyboard. I love my clacky keyboard, but it's not microphone friendly. No, it doesn't look like it's gone out yet. So the rush hour passenger update for East Coastway is it's hooked up and ready to rock and roll, and it will probably be in the next patch. Is Mike the T-boy on the bat phone? No, Mike only turns up for ones he thinks where there's going to be trouble, and then he'll be elsewhere, and he kind of half keeps an eye on it, or an ear on it. He'll ping me anytime now. If he's watching, he'll ping me now. I go, of course I'm watching. I am incredibly diligent. Since the Brighton Mainline is a bit crashy at the moment, would adding the 313 to it just make that worse? Good question.
It's not going to help. If you're experiencing problems with the Brighton Mainline, the 313 isn't going to help that situation. No.
So if you are all right, okay. Pro tip there, pro player tip. If you are buying this specifically to use it on Brighton Mainline, it is going to make Brighton Mainline play worse. All right, let's not pretend anything otherwise until Brighton Mainline's problems are eased out. So this is London Commuter.
Yeah.
London Commuter. Until London Commuter's teething problems, and I use air quotes there loosely, have been sorted out, the 313 using it there is likely to be the sort of thing that makes you either beat your head against the table or post something very angry on social media somewhere. But as you can see, it runs just great on East Coastway, and for those of you who doubt, we will have Brighton Mainline restored to full beauty. London Commuter. I've got to stop.
Pick a name.
Mainline. London Commuter. How did you come up with a name? I would have gone with Brighton Mainline. That's probably what I keep saying. London Commuter. London Commuter will be properly stable by the time we finish monkeying with it. No, the only thing I don't want is disappointed people.
No,
Now, I
absolutely.
mean, I always get that people want to buy the new thing, particularly when it's something that they're looking forward to on the very second it releases. I get that, and you know, and that's super. But it's always worth checking that it plays as well as you hope, because you don't get to experience something for the first time twice, and therefore waiting for it to be as good as it can be. Oh, that's a can of worms. Anyway, that would be my recommendation.
This doesn't have vigilance device, Mr. Cube. It's got safety device, but not vigilance device. So the difference is, a lot of people call, in fact, even some early BR documentation referred to the vigilance device as a DSD, and they're different things. The DSD is essentially what used to be, unaffectionately referred to as a dead man's handle, and it's just basically the you put your foot down on this pedal and just keep it there, and the vigilance device is the one that goes off every 30 seconds that you then have to reset, or 60 seconds in the case of these trains. There's a 377.
Hey.
So they used to use these handles where you used to hold them down, but with the addition of the door controls, they took the functionality off of the handle here, and the foot pedals were added to do the DSD functionality. So this train does not have vigilance, but it does have DSD. But DSD is kind of a non-feature because, you know, it's just it does nothing essentially unless you're not pressing the pedal down, and we press the pedal down for you automatically because who wants the train to not move? If you had to look down here and press a button to hold the pedal down all the time, that would be not fun. So DSD is kind of there, and I think there might be a switch for it up here. Some of our trains we've got a switch for DSD, but then what happens then is if you stand up, all of the brakes come on and the train stops. And some people like to walk around their trains. I do. Talk to the passengers. They love that.
That's not the kind of activity we're supposed to be advocating. Is there any brake squeal at all? Apparently we've not really heard much so far.
No, I heard some earlier on. So, when I was playing it in the office earlier on. So, unless it's wrapped onto those other changes, what I'll do is I'll relook at the latest build afterwards and make sure that is there. And if not, well,
you know what you should do is record a 45-second video with the sound staying on at 50 miles an hour, and then immediately get the brake squeal going straight after it. We'll give it to Roy, and he'll fling it up on the social medias.
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm just giving you work there, executive producer.
It's fine. No, it's good. If it's not, it's not where people want to see it, then so I need to show that totally.
No, it just feels like a nice, easy way to do it.
Yeah,
Plus,
it should be dead easy.
Roy will be delighted.
He'll love it.
He'll go, oh, a bit of hot video action, super. What is the difference between the 313 and the 314?
Overhead power versus third rail power, camshaft versus, I can't remember the name of the system they use on the 314. Totally different physics model, basically. The sounds are similar. There are some aspects and components of the sound which are different. Although because the occlusion's not working properly, you can't necessarily hear them all. But there's like the way the camshaft works, you click it on, click it off. I don't know what else, but the different physics is kind of an important one.
Yeah. Why isn't this? Someone's asked the same question a bunch of times, and I was going to go, well, it's not an underground train. But why isn't this Wakefield and parallel and series and so forth? In terms of
I think
control,
they've just
and why is
setup
it
team
notches 1 through 4?
That's because that's what's written on the desk here. I think that's why they put it as the settings on the when you actually move the notch. It's just copying what's actually on the desk, and they don't call it series parallel weak field on here. In fact, there's 4 seconds, not 3. So I don't know exactly. I imagine internally that is kind of what it's doing, but they stopped referring to them like that a while back, so they just call it 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 now.
Tom's just reminding me of the first mistake I made on a train sim stream. Thanks, Tom. That was almost 18 months ago. You can forget about it anytime you like. Wipers on, please. Let's go. Right. The slow does nothing. I mean, it's very slow. It's not moving, man. Oh, hold on. It is. It is moving. Okay. All right.
It's just a really, really long interval.
A long interval.
A long interval.
Right. Crank it up to fast and then see if it will park again.
Nope, that's a consistent fail.
Yes. Found another one. Well, yeah, let's have a bit of horn action. I know we've done some already.
What I'll do is I'll talk to the sound and physics people and get them to write up a differences between the 313 and the 314 for the release stream. Oh, and we can have a lecture on the differences.
The strobe effect on the windscreen while the wipers are going, that's not strobing, that's smearing. You know, it's got some grease on there or some such. It's just, you know, the wipers need cleaning. But it's a slightly older train, and it's difficult to get replacement wiper blades. So you know, you just got to live with what you got.
Sevens over there. 313 sitting in there.
See, these are 45 years old. It's a specialist order. Alright, that was a pretty good stop. I'll give you that. After some dubious stopping earlier on. Alright.
I've redeemed myself at least a little.
Yeah. Does this mean we're going to get a map presentation for the release stream? Yes. Yeah, he's going to be on the release stream. You're down for the release stream next week, by the way.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. I get to do a casual Let's Play stream on Tuesday. Although you said I've got to use the class 31 or something, haven't I?
You've got to use the class 31, yeah.
Oh, Karen, pulling DMU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds like an adventure. So there you go. That's your first look at the Class 313, which is due to launch next Thursday. This was not the absolute final build, but we'll try and demonstrate that the parts of this that were looking a little inconsistent tonight, whether or not they are resolved for the launch. Hopefully it's something that you'll enjoy. You will need East Coastway to make use of it, and but it will also run on the Brighton, on the London Commuter. London Commuter, that's what it's called. It will also run on the London Commuter.
Yep.
It is available on every platform, and it will be out next Thursday at the usual kind of time when things come out on a Thursday, which these days is anybody could guess. And what else? Oh, it's the same price as other individual locomotives that you can buy, individual trains. For those who are eagerly awaiting West Cornwall, we know you're eagerly waiting, and more than that, you're eagerly waiting just for news of when that's actually going to be available. And as soon as we've got any kind of estimate at all, we will release that as quickly as possible. It's been withdrawn from sale purely because there were a couple of late breaking issues that we spotted that we didn't feel comfortable in releasing. So a few Xbox people have it simply because the reason we couldn't stop Xbox releasing it is that when you pull something from release from a store, it's very much like pulling the emergency brake on a train. Some trains, the emergency brake activates very quickly. Other trains, the emergency brake activates a little slower. And because Microsoft's worldwide store process is what it is, the emergency brake activates a little slower. So it wasn't possible for us to stop it immediately. It will be back on sale when we've fixed it up, when Rivet have had the chance to polish some rough ends of it. And apologies for the delay there. That's it. I'm done with you, Matt. Yeah, that's it. I've said my piece.
All right, folks. Thank you
I'm
very
back
much.
on Tuesday. Hold on, no, I'll tell them what's coming up on the telly.
Go on then.
I'm back on Tuesday to do a bit of Tees Valley Line. Then on Wednesday you've got Workshop Wednesday as ever with Jamie, where he plunges neck deep into the Steam Workshop and comes out with gold. And then on Thursday Matt's back once more to do a Let's Play on launch day of this very same BR class 313. Take it away, Matt. I'm done.
He's done. You sure?
Yeah, I'm done.
Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I'll catch you later. Don't forget to come and join Sam on Tuesday. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.